Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We are here today for a finale weekend. Well, welcome. The Gran Turismo racing community presents our Porsche Challenge final round 9. Where are we headed? Red Bull Ring, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We are finishing off at a great racetrack here. We're headed all the way over to Austria, and we're going to dabble for an hour at Red Bull Ring. It is 3 times tire. It is 3 times fuel for these drivers. The damage is on light. The tires used here today are the racing hards and the racing mediums, required both types. That means there's going to be at least one pit stop in play. So, lots of drivers on track. We've got an extremely tight championship battle going on here right now. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it all works out in the end. We're just trying to get the mic adjusted. I apologize. All right, so these are the standings coming into finale weekend here, and it's tight. So we got 2 classes here. It's a multi-class race. We've got both classes racing on the same track at the same time. The only difference is they're gathering their own points. There's an overall race finish, but each class is still gaining their own first place points, second place points, third place points, so on and so forth. So on the top of the pro class, it is Team Rad's Petrolhead with 127 points. In second place is Dougbro with 120 points. In third place is Pigums with 119 points, just 1 point separating second and third place. Hair Razors in fourth place with 92 points. Bar 27 there was 84 points. Super there was 75 points. Mike's 1972 with 71 points. Ash in eighth place with 70 points. Tap, Key Tops, Esports Matthew, and Oliver Smalley there rounding out that group. Down to our Pro-Am class here. It is Type R with 125 points. It's Tro and Kobe with 125 points. That means we are tied for our Pro-Am championship coming into round 9. Whichever one of these 2 drivers finishes ahead of the other one is going to win this championship here today. But just plain and simple. We got Astro there as well with 112 points. I think he's out of the fight for the championship, but he's definitely still there for third place. We got Snozzer, a.k.a. Action Jackson, in fourth place with 71 points. We got Lone Ghost in fifth place with 58 points. We got Puzzlement there with 36 points. And the remainder of our drivers haven't really raced that much this season. That's why they're at the bottom of the field. So let's go and take a little look at what we've got going on here on track. Well, we are just waiting to get into qualifying conditions. So we're just sitting on board with Type R here right now, actually. And he is, of course, tied for that championship points lead in the Pro-Am division here this weekend. And it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out here today. 1 hour endurance race here. Again, the racing hard and the racing medium tires are required. The only car on track is the 2017 Porsche 911 RSR GT3 race car. So that is a balance of performance and, of course, no tuning. So the cars are all equal. We got Egon coming in with that heart on the stream as well. Hope everybody's doing good. So I know we said we weren't going to be streaming to Facebook a lot here in moving forward, but well, some things have happened over the last week. Some things have changed, and Facebook's going to be has to be the main platform here for a little while again moving forward. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, long story short, the YouTube channel is it tanked. It's unfortunately just a useless channel at this point. We're still investigating what's going on with it. It's bizarre because my content is very family friendly for the most part. So, but we're working on it. So, things are going to change a little bit here at GT45 Gaming moving forward. But we'll keep everybody updated as things kind of progress. It's unfortunate. A lot of hard work went into that channel for a little over 3 years to have what happened to it out of nowhere. It's just bizarre, and it's disheartening for sure. We've had to take some time off and think about what we're going to do moving forward. So, but yeah, appreciate everybody's support. And I mean, we're still here. We're still going. All right, so we're just waiting for qualifying to get underway at this point now. I was sitting here on board with Type R. I should grab my keyboard here so we can get to some nice, tidy, clean. What's the word I'm looking for here? Camera functioning. Just making sure everything's holding up here. Sometimes I have issues connecting to Facebook like this. But it looks like it's holding up alright, so that's good. Alright. Alright, so we should be under qualifying conditions here now. Alright, so it's going to be Doug Burrow to lead us out here first, and again, we need to change the screen information. It's unfortunate. There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We are officially under qualifying conditions here now, and it is race time. Kilty coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, Kilt? Appreciate you, my guy. Alright, so it is Doug Burrow here. He's going to take us out first. Again, Austria, Red Bull Ring. Just a great racetrack. That's it. Nothing else to say about it. Short, fast, sweet. Should provide some good racing action here for our finale tonight. And yeah, usually we see this one as our starter in a lot of leagues, but to have it as our finale is fantastic. This is I enjoy this racetrack. I think it's just a fun little racetrack. I think it provides for great racing. There's lots of opportunities here to make moves if you dare. Hello, good to see you. I'm at work, so short stay. Gotcha, Kilty. Have yourself a good day, man. I get you, my bad. Short and sweet, hopefully. Short and sweet. Alright, so you can see Doug's just warming up those tires right now. These guys are all just kinda chilling here. Pickens is rocking out old school Porsche. I love it. It's been a while since we've seen one of those liveries. Alright, so we are under official qualifying conditions here, so we're going to stay on board with Doug for now as we go through, well, technically turn one here. Quite a squirrely exit there, but he managed to keep it under him. The sausage curve there, you got to be careful. There's a track limit there. Now, it's just risk versus reward coming to turn one in there. You can go over the sausage curve, but only by a little bit, right? So it's a tricky little combination to really get the maximum out of that corner. If you get it wrong, you usually get a half-second track limit penalty for it. If you get it right, you usually gain some speed from it. So coming out of turn 3 here with Doug, we got Pickham's really right in behind him here too as well. So we're going to stay on board here with Doug as he'll be our first one to put in an official lap time here in qualifying. And as we head in towards the Schumacher S this year, we're about halfway around the lap. Short racetrack here. Going to be minute 30-ish times, minute and a half times here. So we're going to see 30 laps, 28, 30 laps, something like that. Go Apex Bar. Hey, how's it going, Tom? How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing good, brother. Coming in rooting for his boy Apex Bar. So it's going to be a 29.2 there. Pickham's is going to stay in third place there as he doesn't beat that time. We got Bar and Happy Pappy coming through here. Pappy had a penalty, so that's going to null and void that lap. Type R is going to stay in third. Snozzer's going to come through. He's going to jump up into third place. So let's go jump on board with Hair Razor here. I think Bar had a penalty as well when he came across the line. That's why we didn't see a time register, or they're just on their out lap. That's always possible. Hair Razor's going to come through. It's going to be third place there for Hair Razor. We got Super coming through. He's side by side there with, I believe that's Astro. We got Snozzer in 7th. We got Type R here in 8th. We got Petrolhead here in 9th. So he's just on his flyer, getting up for third place. Diaful Racing coming in here. I believe this is Ash. A penalty on that lap, so that's a null and void lap. If you cross the start-finish line with a penalty, it won't actually count towards your qualifying lap. So that's unfortunate there for them. And they only get, I think, 5 laps here for qualifying, 5 hot laps. So I'm doing alright, hanging in there. Yeah, I get it, I heard, bud. It's all good, man. You gotta do you, man. You gotta do you, my dude. I'm alright, I've been suffering from some tooth pain here this week. It's been a battle, but thankfully it's let up a little bit today so we can at least broadcast. Alright, so we're going to stay on with Doug here. I believe Piggums is still in behind. Looks like Piggums has actually gained on Doug here this time around, so Doug doesn't improve there. Piggums takes pole position. Mark here is a new driver. He's a very quick driver. He's come in as a Pro-Am, but definitely on Pro pace, so he'll be reassessed for next season for sure. Got Hair Razor here from Team Rad as well. What was that, 4th overall in the championship point standings here right now. He doesn't really have a shot, I don't think, at the podium this season, but he has Bar 27 nipping on his heels here from Team Apex as well, so he's definitely going to be concerned about that. We got Supra here in 6th place. We got Mike here in 7th position. He's a little bit down the standings right now as well. No real implications there for him at the moment. We got Snozzer, aka Action Jackson here. He's 4th overall in the Pro-Am standings as well. We got Happy Pappy back in. He's a Pro-Am driver here. Nice to see him on track. It's been a while. We got Type R here again. Him and Tro and Kobe battling it out for that Pro-Am championship. And we got Bar 27 here in 13th, and we got Big Red here in 14th position. So nice stacked grid today here for our finale. That's what we love to see. Oh, not a registered racer is what I'm getting from race control here. Alright, so 29.5 is our fastest lap here. We got a couple laps left for our drivers here as they're coming around. And to see if Doug can get that pole position back, it's an improvement, but he doesn't take that pole away from Piggums. Piggums doesn't improve here either. Let's sit on board with Petrolhead here. He's our current championship points leader coming into the final round here. He's got a 7-point lead over Doug Burrow in 2nd place, pardon me, and he's got an 8-point lead over Piggums in 3rd place here overall in the standings. So he's got a little bit of a cushion here, but anything can happen in racing. And it's not, it is definitely not in the bag here for Petrolhead. He has to be on point here today. He has to finish, well, he just basically can't finish in last place, I think, here in the race today. He should be okay, but there's that fastest lap point that's going to come into play as well. So, depending how that goes down here in the race as well, and it's a 1:30.9, so he hasn't quite hit what we expect to see from that pace from him. Piggums has already pulled off. He seems pretty satisfied with his time there. Doug is nipping on that time here as he's coming into the Schumacher S's right now. And this is a controller driver here as well, so definitely very quick. The struggle for this particular driver is, of course, tire wear. That's something you'll hear him talk about a lot in podium interviews, is just that tire wear struggle on this controller. But it doesn't change the fact that he's a quick driver, that's for sure. Oh, and he picks up a half-second track limit penalty in the final corner, and oh boy, that could have been a potential pole position nipped away from him there. So let's get back here. We got Tron, we got Mark, and I believe that's Hair Razor up in front. It is, so let's stick with these guys here. Mark's currently sitting in 3rd place, Tron's currently sitting in 7th, and Hair Razor is currently sitting in 6th place right now. So let's jump here. Alright, so we got Hair Razor coming through here. Let's see if he can find an improvement. Does not. Tron does not find it. He gets an improvement, but he doesn't grab any positions. And Mark there as well, same thing. Does not grab any more position there. So it does appear to be Piggums on pole position with Doug in 2nd, with Mark in 3rd. Petrol sitting in 4th, but Petrol's still coming around on his last flyer here right now. We got Bar 27 just up ahead of him here as well. So let's see what these two got as they come across the line. Bar's just about to cross the line. Does not improve. Let's see what Petrol's got. Does not improve either. So it is going to be Piggums on pole. Doug in 2nd place. It's going to be Mark here in 3rd. It's going to be Petrol here in 4th. Looks like Petrol's going around for another run. Bar 27 here is in 5th currently. We got Mike. He is finished. We got Diaphil Racing finished as well. We got Hair Razor. And Tron still out on a lap here as well. So they must be allowed 5, is what I'm guessing. Super here in 10th position. Pappy's chilling in 11th place there. We got Schnauzer here in 12th. And we got Type R here in 13th. So right now, it seems Tro and Kobe's got the pace over his competitor Type R, as we are about finishing up qualifying here. So we got Bar just in front of Petrol here. So let's stay on board with these two. Alright, so we're only 9/10 of a second off pole sitter here right now with Bar, so there's definitely lots of room for improvement for these drivers. Yeah, we know they're both very quick drivers, Bar and Petrolhead there up in front, so. Alright, so I mean, you definitely don't want to pick the penalty up here. And is that rain? That looks like rain we got coming down here, ladies and gentlemen, on the racetrack. So there we go. Again, the weather is set to random here. And it has started to rain here at Red Bull Rig. So, interesting ordeal here. This is going to be an interesting race. Of course, with that dynamic weather here at Gran Turismo 7, it's going to provide for a spicy little race. We got all those Porsches lined up here outside of turn 1. This is where all the drivers hang out after they're done their qualifying as per our league regulations, and they're all lining up for some camera shots there, of course, for a great photo op right there. And this will be the final time we see this group on track here for this championship series, as it is all going to be decided tonight for our Pro and our Pro-Am division. So is it going to be Petrolhead, Piggums, or Doug Burrow being crowned champion in our Pro side? Is it going to be Type R, or is it going to be Tro and Kobe being crowned our champion on our Pro-Am side? It is really hard to say today, but we're about to find out. Clearly the weather could change everything here today. And the track got some kind of wet there real quick. Alright, well, I don't know what to expect, ladies and gentlemen. We could have rain. We could have no rain. Only time's gonna tell, I guess, when these cars get on the grid. So now the driver's got the tough call. It's raining in qualifying. The bigger question is, does this rain continue through into race start, or when they get onto the grid at race start, is it going to be dry conditions? And we've seen this before, where drivers have opted to start on a slick tire, and then all of a sudden the conditions are completely different at race start. So we could potentially see much of the same thing here today, but now the rain's really starting to come down here. You can see the moisture meter very quickly growing on the racetrack, and right at the top end of those intermediate wet tires here. So it's going to be interesting to see how the race starts here today. You definitely know that the crews are looking at those weather radars right now in their pit boxes. So you can see our safety crew behind the wall here right now. They got those hoods up in those orange jumpsuits as well right now. It is definitely coming down. Alright, so now we're in the wet territory here. We're talking pooling water on the racetrack now. Yeah, storming. Definitely storming. We got drivers coming into pit lane here. They're probably starting to think about their tire selection. Not sure what's the holdup is here, but Like the track is wet. Murray and Jake coming in with the heart on the stream as well. Kill coming in with a quadruple or quintuple share. Alright, looks like we're getting ready to go here. Hard to say what's going to happen to race start here. We've seen, like I said, we've seen this once before this season where it was raining and qualifying. The drivers set up for that, and then race conditions came in. It was just absolutely blazing hot, sunny outside. So I guess we're about to see if that's going to be much of the same thing here in race conditions here. You can see how slick it is. It's so wet, there's barely even any smoke rolling off those tires. This is just lighting them up here. The rain's already stopped. So, I mean, it's already, the moisture's already coming down on the racetrack as well. It can be an interesting day of racing, it looks like, today. How you doing, Murray? Hope all is well with all. Just another day. Always pushing forward, my day. Alright, here we go. That was a very long delay. So, let's see here. It looks like we got a dry racetrack for the time being. So, here we go. We got 10 foot per second wind pushing from the east here as well. So that's going to be pushing the drivers into turn one essentially. So kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go race and chat. And here we go. We're green, 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 green. And we are starting under dry conditions here today. So let's see how and if the weather transitions here in this race, but it's a very early race start here. Pickham's gets the whole shot lead. Mark's challenging immediately for second place here on Doug Burrow. You got a hair raiser, or sorry, Petrolhead right in behind Doug, giving him a push there. Teammate helping his teammate through. That's also going to gain Petrol position here as well. So Doug regaining second place. There was a little bit of help from Petrolhead. Petrolhead's going to sit there and try to get the position, but no, Petrolhead, oh, he thought he was going to take a look there, but he decided to back out, let his teammate through, and that's actually going to cost Petrol a little bit of time on track, possibly position. As bar 27 has now got a run here on Petrolhead as well. Petrol's going to squeeze him down to the inside of the racetrack, which is the outside of turn number 4 here, and going to leave him out on the outside position. So we got side-by-side battle, Doug and Mark here for second and third place as well. And Mark is all over Doug early on in this race here. We got some great battles up front here to start this race off. Bar 27 here in 5th place could not get the job done on Petrolhead. Petrolhead's going to defend that position. Ash Motorsport here in 6th place. Got Mike right there in 7th. We got Supra here in 8th place. We've got Hair Razor down into 9th. We got Schnauzer in 10th. We've got Troen here in 11th position. We got Type R here in 12th. And we got Happy Pappy here in 13th place. So all 13 drivers look like they got off pretty good. Not sure what happened to Hair Razor though. He was sitting 5th or 6th overall in the grid, and he dropped down to 9th place there early on. So a little bit of a confussle at the beginning of the race there. We just backed off these guys a little bit, not sure. But it's Pickens with the early race lead here, and he's got a 2.2 second gap right away here. Obviously that little bit of battling between Mark, Petrol, and Doug has allowed Pickens to immediately start to open a gap up on the field here. So now Doug's in chase mode. We got Petrolhead now making his way around Mark here, moving up into 3rd place. This is super important for Petrolhead. He has to be on the podium here to secure that championship today. We got Mark right here in 4th place, and this guy can definitely throw a wrench in the program here, and he's a Pro-Am driver this season, so definitely going to be putting some pressure on those pros. We got Bar 27 here in 5th place. He's chasing Hair Razor overall for 4th place here in this championship, so right now he's in a good position at the moment to maybe even do that as Hair Razor's down the field a bit here, but we are very early in this 1 hour race. And we got Diafull Racing? Diafull Racing? That sounds about right. Ash Motorsport here in 6th place. We got Mike 1972 and Supra here battling it out for 7th and 8th place. And Supra hard on the power. Big slide right there. And Mark just giving a little bit of extra room there. Mike lets him through it essentially there, I think. And we'll re-evaluate that battle in a little bit of time here. We got Hairraiser in 9th place. He's under pressure from Schnauzer and Troen Kobe. And boy, this Pro-Am Championship battle is literally right there. His Troen is just ahead of Type R. We got Happy Pappy just in behind, and of course Schnauzer just up ahead here. And then we got a Pro driver mixed in with this group here as well, but he is on that different tire compound here, and that makes sense why we've seen Hairraiser drop down to the back of the pack here early on. As we see Schnauzer just get around him there coming into turn number 9, coming through turn number 10 here. He's going to break away. Now there is a tire difference there, and that is what we are seeing. So Hairraiser just chilling right now. It's on a different tire strategy than the rest of the pack. So we got Troen Kobe here right now, and him and Type R are tied for that Pro-Am Championship points lead coming into our finale here today. So whichever one of these two finishes ahead of the other one is going to win that Pro-Am Championship here today. So everything is on the line between Type R and Troen Kobe here, and I don't think that this friendly, respectful racing we've seen between these two is going to continue here today. I think it's going to be elbows out. I think it's going to be best man for himself type racing. It'll be clean, but I don't think we're going to see that patient and oh, I made a mistake, I'm going to let you go through kind of situation out of these two at all here today. It is game on for that championship title between Troen Kobe and Type R. So back up front, it is Piggums right now in the lead of this race. He's got about a 5-point advantage on Petrolhead here right now. If he were to hold fastest lap, that would give him 6 of it. I mean, he's still going to fall about 2 points shy of Petrolhead. And Petrolhead's going to get around Doug here, and this may very well be a team play here. There's definitely not going to be team orders here because Doug is a fighter. But knowing Petrolhead is fighting for the championship right now, potentially can be a little play here. But no, Doug's just going to pull right back in front of Petrol there, and a little bit of contact between the two. I think they're under that braking, and nope, there's no team play happening right there. I thought Doug was going to let Petrol ahead to try and chase down Piggums there and just tuck into the slipstream, but nope, Doug is going to he's going to lead the charge here, currently in 2nd place. So good for the leader if these two continue to battle it out here. We got Bar 27 in 4th place, and boy, he's having a good start to his race right now, and he's really trying to charge up to that 2nd and 3rd place battle here. And as they're side by side again, heading up towards turn number 3 here. This is a very difficult corner. This is basically a 90-degree uphill undulating right-hander. Doug's got that position on Petrolhead here coming in. Petrol's looking for the cutback, but he just can't quite get the power down, and Doug's just going to hold the position off from his teammate Petrol here right now. Boy, this is a great battle for 2nd and 3rd place between the two Team Rad drivers, and well, if we were thinking there was any teamwork going on here, there is no teamwork going on here. It is the best man for themselves. As Petrol takes a look up the inside of turn number 5 here, a little bit of tires rubbing between the two. Doug gets it on the curbing, almost loses it, gets it back, tucks in behind Petrolhead. Wow, what a battle for 2nd and 3rd place here right now. Bar 27, Ash Motorsport, and Mark all sitting there in 4th, 5th, and 6th place going, keep fighting, boys, we're coming. So it's Petrolhead here now in 2nd place. It's Doug Burrow here now in 3rd position. And boy, this is a good little scrap between the two teammates here right now on the racetrack. Bar 27, 1.2 seconds in behind those two podium spots right now. And he's got a gaggle of cars in behind him with Diafull Racing. We got Mark here as well in 6th place. We got Mike here in 7th. We got Supra still holding strong in 8th place. Snozzer's right there in 9th position here as well. And interesting, we got a pit stop by our race leader here. Hairraiser here in 10th position. We got Troen Kobe here in 11th. We got Type R in 12th. We got Happy Pappy here in 13th place. So maybe he's paying attention to that weather radar, and maybe we got some rain coming here. Maybe that is anticipation for some moisture coming on the racetrack here, potentially by our race leader. We're not sure, but early pit stop there, and I think I'm hearing rain in the background here. Let's jump on board with our race leader and see if we see any rain coming down here. It doesn't look like it. I thought I heard something there, but just interesting little strategy we've seen there, I think, from Piggums. And like I said, he may know something we don't know, but definitely an early pit stop here as these drivers come in under braking there. Doug making a little bit of a mistake there, and just sliding out wide. We got Bar 27 here in 3rd place. We got Diafull Racing and Mark now battling here for 4th and 5th place. We got Mike 1972, and oh boy, Not sure what happened there, but it looks like Diafull Racing there is going to let Mark through there. That was a weird little situation there. It is getting awfully dark on the racetrack here, though. It does lead us to believe that maybe the weather is going to start changing here, but it is Petrol here in the race lead. It's Doug here in second place. We got Barr in third. We got Mark here in fourth, and he's coming into pit lane here as well now. We got Diafull Racing here in fourth place. We've got Mark coming into pit lane. We've got Snozzer coming through. He's going to put him in sixth. We got Supra here in eighth. We got Hairraiser coming into pit lane here as well. We got Happy Pappy coming around. He's in ninth position. We got Mark in pit lane. We got Hairraiser in pit lane. Tro and Kobe now in pit lane. And we got Piggums here out on the racetrack. And my suspicion on that was most certainly correct. And we are starting to see some water coming down on the racetrack here. So our race leader did indeed actually come in for some racing wet tires. And we are starting to see a little bit of rain coming down on the start-finish straight here, but not a whole lot of moisture registering here so far on the racetrack, but the rain is certainly starting to come down here. We got Diafull Racing here in fourth. We got Mike here in fifth. We got Supra here getting it all kinds of sideways now as the water's starting to slowly come down here. We got Type R in seventh place. We got Happy Pappy here in eighth. We got Snozzer in ninth. We've got Piggums here in 10th place. And now with the water starting to come down, that's going to come into his tires here a little bit better. We got Mark just in behind him in 11th place. He's also went in for those tires. Hairraiser's come in on some racing wet tires, and Tro and Kobe also coming out on some racing wet tires. So Petrohead now coming in for those racing wet tires. Doug's going to opt to stay out. That's interesting. So we got Petrohead coming in, we got Barr coming in. Mike has also opted to stay out here and tempt fate a little bit with the weather changing here at the racetrack. What is Type R doing? He's coming in. Pappy's coming in. Is Snozzer? No, Snozzer's going to take the risk. He's going to stay out. Piggums is going to, he's already stopped. He already changed a couple laps ago. And now that the weather just kind of coming into his tires here. He has got Mark all over his rear wing here though right now as well. And there we go, side by side. This is going to be a battle for 6th and 7th position. Mark's got the inside line here, and Piggums has got the outside line, which will give him a better run out of the corner here, but great respect showing there. Bar 27 coming out just in behind Piggums there as well. So it's going to be Doug Burrow here in the race lead. He's got a 6-second gap right now. We got Mike here in second place. We got Snozzer here in third. We got Petrol here in fourth place. We've got Mark up into fifth, and this is kind of where the wet tire runners are. Petrol came out just ahead of those guys actually as well. But the rain is most certainly starting to come down here as we are seeing about a third of that moisture meter filled up. So that is starting to tell the drivers they are getting into those intermediate wet tire territory. And it's going to be interesting to see. There we go. You can already starting to see Doug there struggling to get that car slowed down and bring it into pit lane. Mike's going to bring it into pit lane here. I'm assuming that the drivers that have tempted fate are going to bring this thing back in and get those tires on. But I could be wrong. Let's see what Snozzer opts to do here. He's slowing down. He's going to be coming into pit lane here as well. So Petrohead's going to come around. He's going to take over the race lead here as those drivers have all opted to go into pit lane. So our championship points leader on the pro side is now our race leader. We've got Mike in pit lane. Petrohead's just going through here. Where's Mark? Mark is in second position here. We've got Piggums there in fifth place as well. Bar 27 in behind him there in sixth place. And he's opted to go on the wet tires, so that's interesting. We got Diafull Racing. He's also on the wet tire. We've got Hairraiser on the wet tire. We've got Trone on the intermediate tire. Pappy's on that intermediate tire as well. We got another intermediate. We got wet here from Supra. We got wets from Type R. So different wet tire strategies here for the drivers as well. Right now we're still in that intermediate wet tire range, but the rain is definitely coming down nice and steady at this point here. So let's jump on board with our race leader Petrohead here and just have a little look. And you can see here those tires screeching underneath the wet track conditions here. You can see that water's just beating off. Those wipers are now going all over to the back of this car here. You take a look behind, a little bit of spray coming up to the back of the car, but nothing too crazy right now. So Petrohead with a 3.6 second lead on Doug, who's now out on racing wet tires, so he's opted to go with the wet tire. We've got Mark in behind there in third place. He's starting to put a little bit of pressure there, and then we have Mike right there in fourth place as well. Pickums and Bar 27 here in fifth and sixth place, just in behind, chasing right now. Bar 27 having a little bit of a moment there, coming around the corner, getting set up for under braking there. As you can see, these cars all bobbling back and forth under these wet conditions. We got our top six drivers all within 4 seconds of each other. We got a huge group of cars here right now. This is good for a race leader, Petrohead. This whole group of cars is going to be battling and trying to filter each other out of position. They're going to be slowing each other down, coming in and out of corners. Pickham's going to be probably looking to try and get through as quickly as possible. Doug's defending here right now as we head down in towards turn number 3, and it's just a big group of cars here right now. We're going to stay 3 wide as we're heading down in towards turn number 3 here. We got Mike on the outside, Pickham's in the middle, and we got Mark on the inside there, and lots of respect shown by all the drivers there. A little bit of a slide there by Mark as he gets underneath the throttle, and oh boy, that is going to be Mike 1972 right there. Having some issues, and if we can get over there, we can go take a look at what happened there. Was that just a mistake coming around the corner? He was all out of sorts in the marbles there coming around the corner. Comes up into turn number 3 there, a little bit of a slide, and just on that curbing in the water there, and really unfortunate there for Mike, and that's going to cost him 4 positions there. So it is Petrohead in the lead, but Doug is absolutely cutting into that lead here right now. But that half-second track limit penalty is going to slow that down a little bit. We got Pickham's now here in third place. Marcus right there and behind him there in fourth place, and Bar 27 closing in quickly here in fifth position here as well. We got Mike 1972 there in sixth place. We got Drone, Kobe, and Hair Razor here in seventh and eighth place. This is a Pro-Am and a Pro battle right now, so this doesn't matter when it comes down to the championship point standings, but it definitely matters for probably Hair Razor to try and get around Drone so we can get back up in chasing down his positional battles up ahead of him here with Mike and the group up in front. So Tron Colby, lots of respect there, just lets Hair Razor get right on through there and continue on his way. Tron Colby right now in exactly where he needs to be. He's ahead of Type R. Supra here in ninth place. A little bit of contact between him and Tappy Pappy right there as they were coming in towards turn number 10 here. We got Diaful Racing in 11th position. We got Type R here in 12th, and we got Snozzer right there in 13th place. And boy, the weather is absolutely pounding these drivers here on track now. The weather conditions are definitely starting to get slippery out there. Petrohead here in the lead. We got Doug chasing him down here in second place. Got Piggins up in third place here, and he's being chased down by Mark and Bar 27 here as well. So fourth, fifth, third, fourth, and fifth place still very close together, separated by about a second, 1.1 seconds here right now on the racetrack. And lots of battling to happen. I mean, we're only 15 and a half minutes into this race already, and it has been a spicy little finale here as lots of positions have been changed. The weather is definitely factoring into this race here. Now it's completely changed all these drivers' pit strategies. We got Mike here at 6th. We got Hair Razor and Trone here in 7th and 8th, and all these cars now struggling to find grip underneath of them here. We have Supra in 9th place. We've got Pappy here in 10th. Diaful taking a look there, but again, everybody just being extra cautious right now in these weather conditions, trying not to make any heavy contact with each other, obviously ruin their days. So it is Petrohead here in race lead, and right now if the race were to end, he would be our Porsche Challenge champion here this season on the pro side. Doug is giving it everything he's got, but he's got a 7-point difference he's got to make up there from him to Petrohead. Petrohead needs to finish a few positions down in the field before Doug or Piggins can really try to start celebrating here. Mark and Piggins. Mark gets a great run out of the corner there. He's going to be looking to take third place from Piggins there, and he's going to get the job done. Bar 27 is going to try and follow him through here now heading into turn 1, and just like that, that could be 2 positions gone for Piggins here. And ooh, big slide by both those drivers there as Bar has to take that inside curb and unsettles his car for the time being. Piggins is going to defend that position from Bar 27, but that was a great battle heading into turn 1 right there. Nolander coming in with a thumbs up. How you doing, my dude? Got Mike here in 6th place. We got Tron Kobe here in 7th position. We got Hair Razor up in 8th place, and these two have been swapping those positions back and forth between each other. Now, this isn't a championship implications battle here. It's a pro driver and a pro-am driver battling it out here right now, and you can see both those drivers. Hair Razor's trying to give the spot there. I think the Tron with a little bit of contact is what we're seeing there. That allows Super to gain some time and Happy Pappy to gain some time on those two. However, with Dialflow Racing just a second in behind them, we got Snozzer, aka Action Jackson, right there in 12th place. So we got Type R here, rounding out the field in 13th position. So all 13 drivers still here. The rain has not deterred anyone yet today, but Petrolhead is slowly but surely starting to lose that lead to Dugborough. 1.1 seconds now is that gap, and those two have had this pretty spirited battle here so far today on the racetrack. We got Mark here up in 3rd place. We got Piggums right there in 4th. R27 still trailing a half second behind here in 5th place. He's got Mike 1972 starting to make tracks here again and starting to gain back on the racetrack. Got Tron Kobe still here in 7th place. Hair Razor looking like he's going to try and get something done here heading into turns 9 and 10. And nice little pass there by Hair Razor on the inside apex of turn number 9. Sets up for turn number 10. Tron not even going to fight back. Tron right now only needs to worry about finishing this race ahead of Type R. So Tron's doing everything right at the moment. Staying cool, staying patient. He's tucked into that stream of that pro driver. That's just helping him get up the track faster. We got Super here in 9th place. We got Happy Pappy here in 10th position. We got Dialflow Racing here in 11th. We got Action Jackson here in 12th. And we got Type R rounding out the field here in 13th position. Ooh. This is a spicy meatball as these drivers coming out there. Go get them, Team Rad. Got Petrolhead here in the lead here and opening the gap up slightly, about a 10th gained on Doug last time that we were at these two here, but we do have 2 different tire compounds now. With that being said, the track is starting to dry out, the rain has stopped, we're starting to, the wet tire runners are definitely starting to feel that in their tires. The intermediate drivers are probably starting to feel a little more comfortable back underneath their race cars now, as of course the moisture's falling back into those range of those tires. So R27 in 4th place here. He's managed to get around Piggums. Piggums here in 5th place and now finds himself defending against Mike 1972 here in 6th place as well. And tough battles out there on the racetrack here this week. We got Hair Razor here in 7th place. We got Supra in 8th position here as well. We got Tron Kobe right there in 9th place. Mr. Pappy here in 10th with Dialflow Racing. Starting to close in here in 11th position. We got Snozzer in 12th and Type R here in 13th place. So Petrolhead immediately moves over to pit wall there to try and break the toe from Doug. Doug wasn't too interested in following there. He's not in slipstream range there anyways, so it seemed like just a waste of time there from our race leader, but precautionary measures, I suppose. And open up the gap there in 2 seconds through turn number 1 there. So Mark is trying to reel these guys in. He's in 3rd place here right now. Now the track is still fairly wet in spots, so you're gonna, the drivers, the crew chiefs are looking at the weather radar. We're gonna probably start seeing a round of pit stops happening from these drivers. This track continues to dry out. Those tires are gonna start to wear down very, very quickly, and that is going to be very tough for the drivers on those wet tires. So at some point here, we're going to see them come back off of those racing wet tires back onto the racing slicks. And you can already see that dry line starting to develop here on the racetrack. You can see just a little bit of a different colored line here on the racetrack right now. If we jump on board with Happy Pappy here, you'll see what I'm talking about. No liner coming in with that share as well. So you can see Pappy kind of in that dry line there right now. If you touch the curbing, it's going to be slippery, right? So there we go. You stay tight to the corner. That's the racing line there. And you can see the racing line's drying up quite a bit quickly. You can see the right side tires of Tron still pick up a little bit of water here, but when you're on the racing line, it's very quickly drying, and you can see Pappy here right now just in the edge of that water. So a couple more laps around this racetrack, and I think we're going to start seeing some of these front runners coming in for racing slick tires here. Petrol, I think that's why we're seeing Petrolhead go across the track there. He's smart. He realizes that he needs some water on those tires. As you see Doug doing the same thing, and the sun has come out. So I guess the question is when do we see the drivers stop? Bar 27 in 4th place. We got Piggums here in 5th. We got Mike here in 6th place. Harry is just coming in right now. Super is going to be in 8th. We got Tron in 9th. We got Pappy here in 10th place. We got Dialflow Racing here in 11th. Snozzer in 12th place. Type R here in 13th. So Harry is going to be the first of the takers to go back on the racing slicks here as this track is starting to dry out. Now it's going to be really important for Hair Razor over the next couple laps to really make sure that he's placing his car on that dry line. As the track is not fully dry, it's still drying, so it's going to be a couple of dicey laps here on those racing slicks for Hair Razor until some of these drivers will keep drying up the track for him here a little bit. So you can see there is a nice tight line there, nice dry line right there. But as we come into the Schumacher S's, that line is still drying. So, I mean, you're going to have a couple tires in the wet here, I think, at any points over the next couple laps. So, Hair Razor's going to really have to be mindful of that as he's coming around. We got Pigham's here in 5th place, Mike in 6th. Supra's up in the 7th place here now, so up a couple spots. Throwing Kobe up at the 8th overall, 2nd in the division here in the race. Happy Pappy's 3rd in division here right now for Pro-Ams as well. We got Dial Full Racing here. He's a pro driver. Sitting a little bit back right now. We got Schnauzer here sitting 4th overall for the Pro-Ams. We got Type R at 5th overall for the Pro-Ams, and Hair Razor just making that pit stop there. So definitely at the back of the pack for the time being. How's it going, Jason? How you doing, Jamal? It's been a long time, my guy. Hope you're doing fantastic, my man. Alright, so it is Petrohead here with the race lead. He is moving, he's cruising, and as we head into turn number 3, he's got 3.9 seconds over the pack right now. And he is our Pro Championship points leader, so he is exactly where he needs to be right now. Alright, so now we're starting to see the pit stops coming in here, especially those heavy wet tire runners. They're definitely starting to come in, get rid of those tires, because they're just going to be losing time at that point on those tires. And this is a point in case here right now. We got Doug Burrow and Mark for 2nd and 3rd place. Now Doug's on the heavy wet. Mark, is on the intermediate. A little bit of contact there between the two under braking. And I was going to say, I thought Mark recovered quite well there, but went a little bit for more of an excursion than we realized there, I think. But again, that's just that tire compound difference. So it's bar 27 and Pigham's here battling it out now. And Pigham's is trying to get that position back from bar 27. Mike is in the thick of this fight here as well. I actually kind of thought Mike might take a look on the inside of Pigham's there heading into the Schumacher S's, but he's opted just to sit in behind here and maybe let these two fight it out to see what happens and then follow Pigham's through. Maybe is what he's thinking here, but bar 27 is doing a pretty good job at holding off these two right now, but the bigger question is for how much longer. As you can see, a huge slide coming around turn 9 there from bar 27, and that's because, well, you can see it on the screen, those heavy wet tires are taking a beating on this drying racetrack right now. He's going to move over, he's going to try and cool those tires down a little bit here. That's going to put him on the defensive line at the same time as well. But Mike and Pigham's just are on a tire advantage here right now, and it's side by side between Mike and Pigham's. I think there was some contact there between the two, and I think Pigham's got pushed out a little wide there in this side by side right there still. As these two head towards turns 2 and 3, turn 2 is this little kink right here. And then turn 3, of course, this hard 90-degree right-hander there. And Pigham's is just going to edge out Mike's 1972 here for the time being for 5th place. But it was definitely a great little battle there between the two. You can see Barr taking advantage of every wet part of the racetrack you can here still. Got Petrol in 1st place. We got Doug Burrow here in 2nd. We got Mark in 3rd place. We got Barr 6.3 seconds in behind these guys here in 4th place. And Pigham's and Mark really need to try and get around bar 27 here if he's going to continue out on these heavy wet tires. They may not know he's on the heavy wet tire either. Alright, so we're heading back into the Schumacher S's here. And this is nose to tail for 4th, 5th, and 6th place right now between Barr, Pigham's, and Mike. And Pigham's goes semi-defensive there and a little, I thought we were going to see the old switcheroo there from Mike, but Pigham's had a different idea there as he went and looked up the inside on bar 27. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. I think Barr was just trying to get into pit lane there, and boy, that was not ideal for him there as he just, we got, I think that's Hair Razor we just seen in the background there. Oh, it is, and Hair Razor falling victim to water on the racetrack here still, and again, you have to stick to that dry line if you're going to go on those racing slicks. So Petrolhead, Doug, and bar 27 all come into pit lane. Mark is now in the lead of this race. Pigham's here in 2nd position with Mike chasing in 3rd place. Petrolhead is already on the way out of pit lane here, and he's opted to come on that racing hard tire, clear that mandate. Boy, this is going to be a spicy ride as he comes out. I believe that is Hair Razor just in behind him here trying to get his lap back as well. So, oh, and Hair Razor, again, we just seen him get out into that water there, trying to get around Petrolhead, and oh boy, it has just gone from bad to worse for Hair Razor there, jumping on those mediums maybe just a smidgen too early, and oh, having a rough run here. We got Happy Pappy here at 5th, we got Trone all the way up into 6th place, we got Doug coming out in 7th, we've got Bar in 8th with Dialful Racing right there and behind him in 9th place, we got Supra here in 10th position, and just in that Castrol Porsche, moving and grooving, doing his thing here in 10th place. We got Type R sitting in 11th position, and right now doesn't even see Trone Kobe, so Trone looking to secure that Pro-Am Championship here today. We got Snauzer here in 12th place, and oh, Hair Razor. It's just gone from bad to worse here for this driver, down in 13th position, and trying to get his lap back on, I believe that's Happy Pappy. Boy, the curbs. Oh, poor Hair Razor. He is just that car's not having anything, any of it here today. He is just absolutely distraught here in that Porsche right now with these wet curbs. So we got Pigham still in the race lead here. We got Mike 1972 here in 2nd place. None of those two drivers haven't pitched yet. We got Petrohead here in 3rd place. We got Happy Pappy here in 4th. We got Doug Burrow in 5th. We got Mark here in 6th place trying to get out of pit lane, and it is wet in pit lane still. We have Dialful Racing here in 7th place. We got Supra in 8th. We got Tron Kobe now in pit lane. We got Bar 27 coming around here in 10th place. We got Type R coming around here in 11th position, and he is going to go around. So now the bigger question is he going to jump ahead of Tron Kobe? No, he's not. Tron Kobe is coming out of pit lane just ahead here, but oh boy, did Tron spin coming out of pit lane? He did. We've seen lots of drivers struggling getting out of pit lane because it's so wet there still on those racing slicks, and boy, oh boy, this Pro-Am Championship has changed dramatically. 3-second penalty here for Tron, as well as Type R is closing in quickly. And boy, oh boy, the rain has completely threw a wrench in this finale night here tonight, and it is still Pigham's here with the race lead. I believe he's coming up into aka Schnauzer, aka Action Jackson here right now. We have Mike 1972 here in 2nd place. Petrohead's here at 30, 14.9 seconds behind the race leader. Got Happy Pappy here in 4th place. He's still out on wet tires. We got Doug here in 5th place, and the drivers on those slicks are still struggling. And there we go. As I say that, we see Mark now going for a spin coming into turn number 10, and he just keeps that thing out of the wall. That was a close call right there, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that's Hair Razor we just see squirting through there as well. And boy, some of these drivers are really having a tough time here on these racing slicks. So down to 8th place for him, but boy, what a close call that was, just keeping the nose of that Porsche out of the wall outside of turn 10 there. And the rain has wreaked havoc on this championship here this week. Oh, and we got Tron Kobe going for a ride, and oh boy, he's going to take some rear diffuser damage there as well, and oh, it is all falling apart for some of these drivers here. We got Hair Razor off the track again. Oh my, oh my. No, Tron, no. He's still okay, he's still okay. Lots of racing left. We still got 29 minutes remaining, so we're just over the halfway mark. We got Pigham still in the race lead. We got a car spinning out in front of him there, and we just heard it. Oh, and it's Tron Kobe again. Oh boy, poor Tron had this race under control and has just let it kind of get away from him a little bit here. Got Happy Pappy up into 4th place here. Got Doug Burrow in 5th, and it looks like he just had a moment there as Dialful Racing is going to go around him. That was 4th position there for 5th place. You can see Doug trying to scrub those tires off. Got Mark here in 7th place. He just went for a ride a lap ago. We got Apex Bar 27 here in 9th place. We got Type R here right now in 10th. So Type R is now looking like he's going to bring that championship in the amateur division, but this race is far from over. Come on, Tron, get that thing going, my guy. Throw some TCS on that bad boy and keep it rocking. Pickham's in control, but he is on those intermediate wet racing tires here as well. At some point, I'm assuming he's going to come back onto those racing slicks. But it is Pickham's right now in the race lead, 3.4 seconds on Mike, who's on the same kind of style strategy. Now, Petrohead is our championship points leader. He is coming 15 seconds is the gap, so he is not gaining currently on these drivers with those racing hard tires, and this could be good, but he's also going to clear that hard tire mandate as well before those two drivers. So Petrohead is in what I think to be the best position to actually win this race right now. We got Dialful Racing here in 5th place. We got Doug in 6th. We've got Mark here in 7th position. We got Super in 8th. And now the pros and the pro-ams are all kinds of mixed up. That rain really threw a wrench in the racing program here today. Got Bar 27 here in 9th place. Made a mistake. Got into that water. Just trying to keep the car moving forward. And Hair Racer's going to grab a lap back on him. He's going to be like, thank you, mate. I'll take that. Type R coming into pit lane. Where is Trone? Trone is just coming through 9 and 10 here, so he has some work to do here on Type. Oh, and he again just getting, oh boy, he's just getting into that water under braking, and oh boy, this is so many spin cycles. This has been a rough race right now. Yeah, lots of drivers really struggling on these racing medium tires. The track not drying out as quickly as they had hoped. And Petrohead here still chasing Piggums right now. We got Happy Pappy here in 3rd. We got Dialful Racing in 4th place. We got Doug Burrow here in 5th. So Petrohead still has fastest lap on the racetrack as well. All right, so on board with Mike here. Look how easy it is to lose that car in that water, man. Whew. The tense moments on the racetrack here. These guys have me sweating in my chair right now. We got Super in 7th place. We got Mark here in 8th place. We got Bar 27 in 9th place. He's got blue flag being waved as, I believe, as Hair Racer actually closing in on him here. So the blue flag is actually for Hair Racer. But he's going to be definitely trying to get around Bar 27 there. We got Snozzer here in 10th place. We got Type R here in 11th. He's got 33-second gap on Trone here right now. Got Hair Racer here in 13th, and it's just gone from bad to worse for Hair Racer and Trone Colby here so far today. Alright, so it is Piggums here now. He's putting in 134s. Let's see what Petrol's putting in here on this hard racing tire. Now, it is worn down intermediates on a drying racetrack compared to racing hard tires on a drying racetrack, and the lap times are fairly similar to the two drivers, so that's interesting. We got Pappy here in 3rd place, and he's having a race right now, let me tell you what. Cool, calm, collected. He has stayed very patient, and he's got a podium position overall right now. We got Dialful Racing here in 4th place. He's closing in on Happy Pappy there. We got Doug here in 5th place. He's got 9 seconds to Dialful up in front here. Mike, 1972, having an issue coming out of turn number 10 there, and managing to keep the car underneath of him. That's going to allow Trone Colby to get the lap back from him there as he comes around. Super in 7th position. We got Mark here in 8th. We got Bar 27 here in 9th. We got Type R in 10th. We got Snozzer in 11th. We got Trone here in 12th position, and definitely struggling in these drying conditions. And it looks like Mike 1972 is coming around him here, and then we got Hair Razor. Looks to be about 2 laps, almost 2 laps down here in this race due to his extracurriculars in the drying conditions. Whew. Been a lot to keep up with here. Alright, so Piggums is finally going to bring it in here. He has finally decided that the track is drying enough to come back out on those racing slicks. So the bigger question is now, what's the gap going to be between him and Petrolhead here? Petrol's going to have to make another pit stop here soon because he's running low on fuel. He made a little bit of a mistake there. He had to gather that car up underneath of him. And this is going to be a full stop here, as Piggums is also going to need fuel as well. So this will be a little bit of a stop here from Piggums. We got Dialful Racing coming into pit lane. We got Pappy staying out, and then we had a yellow flag car sitting off in the track edge there. I'm not sure who that was. Edward coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, my guy? Hope you're doing fantastic, brother. Dialful coming into pit lane. So that's going to give Doug Burrow 2 positions here. He's going to move back up into P3. Oh, maybe not. P4. Piggums is coming out of pit entry here, so he has not actually leapfrogged our 3rd place driver yet. Where is Piggums? Piggums just comes out of pit lane in behind Doug here. Of course, having to be mindful of those very wet pit exit conditions. Mike's going to grab that position here on Piggums as he's obviously at speed coming around the corner, but Mike is actually a lap down, so Mike is actually just going to unlap himself from Piggums there. All right, so Petrohead's got a 15-second lead here on Happy Pappy, 22 seconds on Doug, who's the next pro driver that is chasing him here, and Doug is 7 points behind him in the championship point standings right now, so 22 seconds separated. Petrohead and Doug Burrow there in third place. Piggums is about 5 seconds in behind Doug, and 28 seconds in behind the race leader, but the race leader does have to make a pit stop here very soon, so that's going to close the drivers back up, and then I think it could very potentially well be a sprint to the finish, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. And there we go, our race leader coming in for that final, I'm assuming final pit stop of the race here. Probably going to come in, jump off of those racing hard tires, get back onto those racing medium tires here as well to finish off his race, if I had to guess. Happy Pappy, he's doing a pretty good job at managing this race, and he's like, I'm going to take the race lead here as he comes across the start-finish line on lap number 24. So Happy Pappy here in the race lead. We got Petrol still in pit lane, so Doug Burrow's going to move ahead now, take second place away from Petrol here. We got Type R and Doug just getting around there, so great job by Type R just to let Doug get through into the corner. That leaves Piggums 7.5 seconds in behind Doug Burrow there, chasing in third place. We got Mike here in fourth. We got Petrol's coming out, and he's going to get passed by Mike and Supra as well. And now he's got to manage, of course, that slippery pit exit here, which he does quite well. And it's 22 seconds to Happy Pappy in the race lead. Diaful Racing, after his pit stop in 7th place, he's about 2 seconds ahead of R27 here right now. And we got Mark having another moment there in turn number 10, and it seems to be his nemesis corner here in the wet today. We have Type R here in 10th position. Tron Kobe here in 11th, and that gap now is only 10 seconds. So Tron is starting to close back up on Type R. We got Hairraiser here in 12th place, and we got Snozzer in 13th. So Hairraiser has made his way around Snozzer and grabbed the position. So this is not over till it's over, I tell you what. All right, so it's Happy Pappy here in the race lead. He's had the race lead here for the whole lap, and he's going to bring it into pit lane. So he's going to relinquish that race lead to Doug Burrow here as Doug comes around in 2nd place. Happy Pappy in pit lane. That's going to leave Piggums now here in 3rd position, and Type R are actually just in behind him there right now. So Piggums has a little bit of a gap right now on, I believe, Petrolhead. We got Mike here in 3rd place, and he has Tron Colby in behind him, but all these drivers are kind of out of position right now. Supra has Tron Colby in between him and Mike, so Tron Colby is a blue flag car between those guys right now. Our championship points leader here in 5th place. He's got 19 seconds to our race leader at the moment. Happy Pappy here coming out. He's coming out in 6th place. Does he stay ahead of the cars coming? I think Diaful Racing is going to grab that position. He does. And we got Barr and Mark coming around, and they're both going to go ahead and grab that position from Happy Pappy there as well. So Pappy's going to drop down into, I believe, 9th place there. All right, so our race leader now is Doug Burrow, and there may be just enough here right now for Doug, if the race were to finish like this, to potentially give him the championship here. But if I think it comes down to a tiebreaker at that point, I believe Petrohead would get that on the tiebreaker, because it comes down to race wins, if I'm not mistaken. Piggums here is 9 seconds in behind Doug, so Doug has done a great job of managing this race here in 1st place, and a nice little gap right now. Mike here in 3rd position, doing a real good job here, and he does have Supra closing in very, very quickly here. He's going to absolutely just jump around Type R there, as Type R tried to just stay out of the way of the 2 cars there. That's unfortunately going to get Type R a penalty, and that has some implications, because look who's right there. Trollen, he has kicked it into high gear. He has hit the Pro-Am NOS button in that Porsche 911 RSR, and he has closed up a 33-second gap to Type R. And this is important because Tron Colby and Type R are tied for 125 points each coming into this finale tonight. for the Pro-Am Championship. Whichever one of these two drivers finishes ahead of each other is going to win that Pro-Am Championship. So this is a battle for the overall Pro-Am title right here, and this is a battle for 10th and 11th overall in the race. So this is a huge battle here, and it's Tron, Colby, and Type R. Now Tron has to be patient here. He has to consider where the water on the racetrack is, trying to get this job, trying to get the move done. He's going to get it done coming under the braking. That is a great job there by Tron Colby, and Tron has just stepped into I need to go mode and has gotten the job done around Type R. Type R backing off, letting a lead lap car through as well, so that only helped Tron Colby open up that gap a little bit more on Type R. So very, very decisive move right there by Tron, and now he has about a 4-second gap to Type R in behind him. So great job there by Tron. We've got Doug Burrow here. He's still holding down the race lead with 17 minutes remaining. Piggums is closing the gap up slowly but surely here. He took about half a second out of him that time around. And the fastest lap still belongs to Petrolhead here, and that's an important point right now. That's a point in his back pocket as it sits right now as well. Supra here in third place with Mike in fourth. We got Tron Colby, our Pro-Am points, tied for the points lead there, just up ahead of Petrolhead there as well. So it is now Petrolhead here, and he's got a little bit of distance to make up to Mike up in front. There's 3 seconds, so it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. Where is Petrol in relation? 20 seconds from the race leader, Doug, here. So it is Doug Burrow here, and I mean, he's good to go to the end here as long as he's got the fuel. He's cleared the tires. He started on those racing hard tires here. So Pickham's here is about 8.7 seconds in behind. We got Supra here in third place. We got Mike here in fourth. We got Petrolhead here in fifth place. And you can see he's just in behind Tron Colby there. We got Dialful Racing and Bar 27 battling it out here for 6th and 7th place overall. Let's sit with this battle here for a minute, as Dialful Racing in 6th place trying to hold Bar 27 off. Though these are both pro drivers, so this is battle for position here on the track. This is a class battle of position, I guess is the best way to put that. So here we go, as Bar's trying to close in here. I mean, it's a half a second gap still, about a 1.5 Porsche car length between these two cars at the moment. Bar takes a much tighter line through the Schumacher S's and closes that gap up by a 1/4 second there. So Bar 27 now tucked in behind Dialful Racing here, and as we come around turn number 9, oh, Bar gets a run. He had to almost make evasive action there not to get into the back end of Dialful Racing there. Bar 27 now side by side. It's a drag race, and Bar's going to get it across the start finish line, but it's still side by side as we head down to turn 1. And Bar 27 does have the position, but are we going to see a little cutback move coming here from Dialful Racing? It looked like he was going to make that attempt there, but Bar got a pretty good exit. He's just going to hold Dialful Racing off here for the time being. We got 45 minutes into this race. We got 15 minutes remaining, just under, and some great battling happening all over the racetrack. That rain has really mixed up this field here today, and well, dynamic weather, gotta love it. Absolutely changed up the way this race has happened today here. So Bar is going to open up a little bit of a gap there on Dialful Racing. Let's get back up front here. Let's see what we see. We got Doug 8.5 seconds up the road from second place driver Piggums. He's got 10 seconds to Mike here right now. And Mike is starting to become under threat slightly here from Petrol as well. Got Bar 27 here. He's in 5th place. We got Dialful in 6th. We got Pappy here in 7th. We got Supra now in 8th place. He's got Mark starting to chase him down here in 9th. That gap is less than a second. 10th place driver Tron Colby has 25 seconds on Snozzer, and pretty good gap there. It's about 40 seconds to Type R here now. So now all Tron has to do is just keep the car moving in a forward direction here, and hopefully doesn't need to try and close that gap back up like we've seen mid-race here. Tron Colby, he coming out a little bit early on those medium tires, struggling in the drying conditions, had a few spins, and actually allowed Type R to get back ahead of him and gain a gap, but maybe a mistake made by Type R, or pit stop sequence brought them both very close together again, and Tron Colby, for the time being, leading the way for the Pro-Ams. As far as that championship goes, I believe he's actually the top. Happy Pappy's our top Pro-Am right now, sitting in 7th place overall. So 2nd place, I believe, for Tron Colby in the Pro-Ams right now. right, so we're really kind of, we need to sit here because Petrolhead, right now finishing behind Mike is really gonna put a pinch on that championship, so he's definitely working hard to try and get around Mike here. Bar 27 is about 12 seconds in behind, not really factoring into this equation too much right now, but Petrolhead is definitely putting some pressure here on Mike 1972 right now. Mike's doing a great job at answering the call to the pressure here, but there it is, he left a hole, and Petrolhead's going to absolutely opt to take the look up the inside. He actually gets it done before we even enter turn 9 there, so as we head into 9 and 10, Petrolhead does move back up into 3rd place, and Tro and Kobe coming in for a pit stop there. In behind these two as well, so some interesting strategies happening. We got Doug Burrow here in 1st, we got Piggums here in 2nd, we got Petro now in 3rd place, we got Mike in 4th, we got Bar in 5th, we got Diaful in 6th, we got Pappy in 7th, we got Mark in 8th, we got Supra here in 9th place, Trollen in 10th, and I think he needs fuel. We got Snozzer here in 11th place, we got Type R here in 12th, we got Hairraiser here in 13th position, so let's sit on board with Type R here. Drone's in the pit lane, he's already been released, so the field man's done his job. Drone's coming out here. Type R is still going to be the full front start finish line straight away from Tro and Kobe there, so we weren't sure where Type R was going to come in that mix, but Tro and Kobe giving a little bit of time back there to Type R, having to come in and top up for fuel. Doug's doing a great job managing the gap to Piggums here right now, still at about just under 9 seconds. Petrolhead here is 13 seconds in behind. Piggums right now in 2nd place. Mike is in 4th place. He's starting to lose touch with Petrol, so Petrol's starting to put the pedal to the metal a little bit here. Bar 27 is currently sitting in 5th place. He's got 8.7 seconds to the group up in front. Dial4 Racing here in 6th place. He's only 4.5 seconds in behind Bar. We've got Happy Pappy here. He's our leading Pro-Am, so leading for the Pro-Ams right now is Pappy. He's here in 7th position. We got Mark here in 8th place. He's 2nd place in the Pro-Am division. He's actually got Tro and Kobe just up ahead of him, who's technically a lap down, I guess, to Mark, which very confusing at how quickly it happens on these short tracks, and especially with something like rain, it's very easy for it to happen. So Tro and Kobe here, he's just going to get off the racing line, let Mark through there. He's in 3rd place overall here in the Pro-Ams right now, but our championship winner, so it is Doug Burrow here in the lead of this race, and it's going to be Piggums here in 2nd position. We got Petrolhead here in 3rd place. Not too much happening right there between those three at the moment. Mike is losing touch with Petrolhead here, 2.5 seconds in behind. Bar is closing Mike down, 6.7 seconds in behind. We got Dial4 Racing here with 10 minutes remaining on the clock. It is almost season over here. Happy Pappy in 7th position. We got Mark there in 8th place. We got Supra in 9th, very close behind, 2.5 seconds. We got Throne there in 10th position. He's getting waved that blue flag with Supra in behind. Snozzer here in 11th, Type R in 12th, and Hairraiser here in 13th. So there we go. We got Doug coming into pit lane, and I'm assuming this is going to be for a splash of fuel. Obviously does not have enough fuel in the tank to get the rest of the way around. So that is interesting. So we got Piggums here now taking over the race lead. Where is Petrolhead? Petrolhead is still coming. He's leapfrogged Doug for the time being. When are they going to release Doug from pit lane is the bigger question here. And he's coming right now, so he's actually going to come out in behind Petrolhead. So Petrolhead's going to move back up into 2nd place. And Doug Burrow's now going to find himself chasing Petrol here in 3rd place. His tires are going to have time to cool down with that splash. I mean, he's got to get those tires back up to temp. Just not quite enough distance between Doug and Petrolhead there for him to stay ahead of Petrolhead. That's unfortunate for Piggums because ultimately, ideally for Piggums, a little bit of a battle between those two for a lap or two would have been perfect for him to continue to open up his gap. So the gap is only 13.8 seconds, so if Piggums has to make another pit stop, it is not enough time to keep ahead of Petrolhead here right now. He's only 13.5 seconds back, and Doug Burrow's 3.2 seconds back here right now. Oh, and Mike making a mistake right there. Maybe getting into a wet part of that racetrack potentially, and definitely losing some time there. He's going to move down into 4th place because of that. Dialful Racing is going to close that gap up significantly now because of that. And that was very unfortunate there for Mike, but he's still going to hold the position. We got Happy Pappy here in 6th place. We got Bar 27 here in 7th. We got Supra in 8th. We've got Mark here in 9th place. Drone here in 10th position. We've got Type R in 12th place, Hair Razor in 11th, and Schnauzer here rounding out our field in 13th. All 13 cars still on the grid here that started this race as well. We love to see that. So Pigham's 13.3 seconds in the race lead. We've got Petrolhead here in 2nd position. And again, 13 seconds to gap. Doug is about 3 seconds in behind Petrol currently. We have Mike right there. He's about 8 seconds in behind. He was closing in on that pack, but with that spin that we just saw, that's going to take him off that fight with only 7.5 minutes remaining. I don't know if he's going to have time to close that gap back up. Dialful Racing here in 5th place, 3.5 seconds in behind Mike now after that mistake as well. Happy Pappy here. No pressure from this driver on the guys up in front, but he's definitely got guys coming here in behind. We got Bar 27, Supra in behind here. We got Tron Colby as well, but Tron Colby, of course, is a lap down to these guys, so he will give that position up at the next available moment there, and he's just going to give that up to Supra right there. We got Mark in 9th. We got Tron here in 10th place. Hair Razor here in 11th. He's being waved a blue flag from somebody. Not sure who, maybe Type R. And Schnauzer there rounding out our field. So it is Petrol, and he's 13.2 seconds behind Pigham's here. So Pigham's is just catching up to Schnauzer, aka Action Jackson, here as well, as he comes across start lap number 34 here. Petrolhead here in 2nd place. We got Doug in 3rd place. We got Mike here in 4th. We got Dialful in 5th. We got Pappy here in 6th. We got Bar 27 here in 7th. We got Supra in 8th. We got Mark in 9th place. We've got Hair Razor here in 11th. We've got Type R in 12th. And we got Schnauzer here in 13th position. And our race leader is just cool, calm, collected here right now. He's not putting any pressure on Schnauzer. Schnauzer led him around, a nice safe opportunity there. That was a great job by Pigham's and Schnauzer right there navigating that blue flag situation. That was a prime example of patience by the race leader and recognition by the blue flag car. Realizing that the race leader wasn't going to force anything in the corner, stuck to the racing line, didn't cost himself or the leader any time, and then just pulled off the racing line in between the corners there. That was perfect. That's how you do it. Petrolhead here starting to pick the time off of Pigham's here, 12.5 seconds. We got Doug Burrow 2.6 seconds in behind Petrolhead here, and that could be beneficial. We got Mike here in 4th place. We got Dialful Racing here in 5th. We got Pappy here in 6th place. He's under pressure from Bar 27, but this is not a class battle. This is just Pro-Am and a pro driver battling it out here right now, and Bar 27 just tucking in underneath Happy Pappy here. Supra starting to close in on Bar 27 here, so Bar's going to want to get around Happy as quickly as possible because he does have a positional car chasing here right in behind him with Supra in 8th place, so Bar 27 is not going to want to take too long to navigate around Pappy here. And oh, I think there was a little bit of contact there between the two. And Supra's going to get around Bar 27 there, so that was unfortunate. We got Tron Cody just in behind him there. We got Mark here in 9th place. There's Tron there coming up in behind Bar. We got Hair Razor in 11th. We got Type R here in 12th place. And we got Schnauzer here in 13th position. So with just under 4 minutes remaining, that's going to leave us 3 to go here. It is Pigham's in the race lead. He has gotten around Schnauzer there as well in 13th position, and we saw that just a lap ago as well, how well they navigated that. We got Petrolhead here in 2nd place. We got Doug closing in, and he's closing in as quickly as he can here. He's at 1.9 seconds. It was a little over 2 seconds last time around, so Doug has a couple laps to try and get something done here. We got Mike 1972 in 4th place with Dialful Racing in 5th place. We got Supra here in 6th place, and he's just ahead of Bar. Now Bar's gotten around Happy Pappy there, and he is going to re-engage that battle with Supra. Obviously, he wants to finish as many positions ahead of Hair Razor as he can, so he needs to get ahead of Supra if at all possible. We got Pappy there in 8th, we got Mark in 9th, we got Trone in 10th. Got Hair Razor in 11th, Type R in 12th, and Schnauzer here in 13th position. So Bigham still has this race lead here right now. It's 11.7 seconds as he comes around. Petrohead is definitely pushing and charging, but just can't close the gap up. And even if the race were to finish the way it sits right now, Petrohead is not going to lose that championship. Even if Duggar is able to get around him here, he's still going to hold off that championship charge by a couple of points. So as it stands right now, Petrohead will end up being our Pro Division champion, barring anything serious happening here in the last couple laps. Dialful Racing here in 4th place, Mike 1972 here in 5th. We got Supra in 6th place with Bar 27 still putting the pressure on him here in 7th place. Bar wants that position, trying to get 4th overall from Hair Razor out at today's race. Happy Pappy here in 8th place. We got Mark here in 9th. We got Drone Kobe here in 10th place. He's sitting 3rd overall right now in the Pro-Am race here today, and that is going to be good enough to put him in the championship win as long as he stays ahead of Type R, who's currently sitting in 12th place, about 30 seconds in behind. So that is kind of where things are settling here as we come across for our second last lap of the race here. We got Petro coming around here. He's going to get his 2 to go warning here. Doug is also going to get that 2 to go warning. Dialful Racing will be on his final lap here. So this is going to be the penultimate lap here for 4th place through. So as he comes around, final lap for Dialful Racing. It's going to be final lap here for Mike as well. Bar 27 and company, and behind it will also be the final lap for all of them. So with 10 seconds in hand here, it is Pigham's coming around and just heading into turn number 5 here, and that takes us up into the Schumacher S's. So Pigham's looks to be in control here with the clock under a minute to go. So as he's heading up into the Schumacher S's here, it's 10.4 seconds on Petrolhead here in 2nd place. We got Doug here in 3rd. Got Dialful Racing there in 4th place. We had Mike in 5th. We got Bar 27 in 6th. We got Supra in 7th. We had Pappy in 8th. We had Mark there in 9th place. We had Trone in 10th. Hair Razor in 11th place, Type R here in 12th, and Schnauzer in 13th position. So the race started in rainy conditions and finished it off with absolute beautiful sunshine conditions. And his final lap for our race leader as he comes around here for the last time this season with the Porsche Challenge. It's going to be Petrolhead here to start his final lap as he comes across as well in the 2nd position. Doug Burrow's going to come around. He's going to get that final lap. Dialful Racing here should be taking a 4th place finish here as he comes around turn number 10. That timer is over on the clock, and it is race over here. So it's going to be 4th place finish for Dialful Racing, aka Ash Motorsport. We got Mike with a solid 5th place finish here. Bar 27 is going to bring it home in 6th place overall. He does manage to get ahead of Supra here at some point in the last couple of laps and opens up a fairly good gap there as well. So it's going to be 6th place for him. Not sure if that's enough to leapfrog Hair Razor in the championship standings overall. We got Supra coming around. It's going to be a 7th place finish here for Supra. Happy Pappy is just coming around here. It's going to be 8th place for Happy Pappy here as well. Mark coming around. It's going to be a 9th place finish for Mark. We got Drone Kobe. He's going to come around. He's going to bring it home in 10th place today, and that is going to be our Pro-Am champion. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Drone Kobe and a great race today. Hair Razor is going to bring this thing home in 11th place. Tough day for this driver here from Team Rad today. Type R, valiant effort here. He's going to take 2nd place overall in the championship point standings here, losing to none other and only Drone Kobe. And great race this season from him. And in 13th position here is going to be Schnauzer, but it looks like Pigham's is coming around here. It's going to be a finale race win for Pigham's. Petrolhead's going to come through. He's going to bring this thing home in 2nd place, and that is going to be the Pro Championship win for Petrolhead. He will bring home his first championship here at GTRC, and Doug Burrow's going to take it home in 2nd place. Now, he did leapfrog Pigham's there because of the tire restrictions. So that's something that'll be settled with race control and behind the scenes. So that's why we've seen Pickham's drop down into third place on the grid, because the rain factors in a little bit of a difference for restrictions potentially. So Pickham's dropping down to third place there, Petrohead up in the win, and Dugborough in second place. That'll all get sorted out by race control after the fact. We got Dialful Racing in fourth, we got Mike 1972 in fifth, we got Bar 27 there in sixth, Super in seventh, Pappy in eighth place, we got Mark there in ninth place, Tron Colby in 10th, Hair Racer in 11th, Schnauzer in 12th, and Type R in 13th. And he also got a penalty there as well, so that will also need to be looked at by race control. So there is a deal when there is rain during competition. If there's rain goes for X amount of the race, and there has to be a certain amount of moisture on the track to force a change into racing wet tires, which we did see today. It rained for about a third of the race today, as a matter of fact. So I do believe that that negates the mandatory tire mandates at that point in time. So it's going to be interesting to see, of course, how they sort all this out. But it is, well, needs to be sorted out. But Pickham's did come across the line in first place there, and I'm not sure what to do about podium interviews on this one because of all that, so we'll just go with it. We'll just go with it and see what happens. Tron's already waiting. I'm coming. Hold on, guys. Alright. Leo coming in with that heart on the stream as well. I appreciate you, my guy. Nolander coming in with those shares on the stream. Welcome in over everybody at the GTRC. What's up, boss man? Let's go, Pickham's. Hey, how's it going, Alpha? Alright, so we're just going to give it a minute. So we're going to flip over to, well, this screen right here. And we'll be back in just a moment's time once we get our interviewees into the room. Be back in about 2 minutes' time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. We are back, so let's go get inside our interviewee room and see who we got to talk to here. All right, I do apologize for the delay, gentlemen. Thanks for being here. We're going to start and talk with our third place, second place finisher, first place finisher. Not sure how that's going to work out, but like I said, race control will sort out the tire mandate issue due to the rain after race. So it was Pigham's coming across the line first, Doug second, and Petrolhead third place. Petrolhead second place and Doug third place. Of course, that got all changed around with the penalties that were added for the tire infractions. So nonetheless, all three of these guys on the podium, they were the three chasing for that pro championship, and we'll start with Doug. Tough racing out there today. You guys started qualifying. It was dry track conditions. And then we get under the end of qualifying and it starts raining. You guys start the race, it's dry, and then very quickly it starts to get wet on the track. Throwing a little bit of a curveball in a sense, I guess, into the race here today. So talk us through how your race went and talk to us about how the track was under wet and, of course, under those drying conditions.
Sorry, who was that to? Yeah, no, the race was good. I mean, with regards to the tyre infraction part, I remember, or at least I think I remember saying, if you can run hards for 5 laps, if it's dry enough for 5 laps, then you got to run hards. But I don't know if anyone else heard me. It's so noisy in the chat beforehand, even though I'd started the race discussion. So we'll see. That'll be an admin decision on that one. Yeah, the race was good. We were all kind of keeping an eye on the weather map. I made the mistake of I saw that it was going to get really heavy. We saw that in the quali, right at the end of the quali session, it was going to get really heavy. So when I went in, I jumped in on the wets, full wets, and it dried up a little bit quicker, or the racing line dried up a little bit quicker than I thought it would, and I was losing time to the guys on the inters. And then obviously I had to pit in early, and I took the fuel up when I pitted in. Thought I'll run it for a while like that, and I was 4 laps short of completing the race on that run, so I had to pit in for fuel again, and that killed me. And although I was catching up with petrol towards the end, where I'm assuming he went for a long run, he was fuel saving a little bit. I got a couple of odd little penalties that just set me that little bit further back, and always put him just out of what I would call reach for the end of the race. So I'd gain a bit, get a penalty, and then not have in my head I could see I wasn't going to have enough time to catch him up. So I took it from like 7 to 2 seconds at the end of the race from petrol, but it wasn't enough.
Absolutely, and I mean, the track did not dry quite as quickly as I think a lot of the driver field had anticipated that the drive would track out. The sun came out after the rain had stopped, and you would think that track was going to start to dry out real quick, but it actually took quite a while for a racing line to really properly develop back in on the racetrack. And of course, we've seen some of our drivers really struggle with those racing slicks under the drying conditions here today. So, I mean, how was it managing those drying conditions once you got back onto those racing slicks, especially coming out of pit lane? It was very wet there.
Well, I knew it was going to be wet coming out of pit lane, so going into pit lane, I stuck the traction control on 3, so that when I came out, it'd still be on 3, and I'd be able to get across to the dry line without it trying to spin me round. I got caught out a couple of times in, I don't know what the corners are called, but the double left-hander, where turning in either to the first part or the second part caught me a couple of times as well. It just run that millimetre wide onto the wet stuff, and it went from like practically dry to almost full wet weather tyres. So yeah, the track really didn't dry out like I was expecting. And that probably cost me quite a bit as well, to be honest. I mean, I did that 3 times, so that probably cost me about 7-8 seconds at least, getting back on track and getting going again. Luckily, I didn't spin it round. I mean, I saw Razor a couple of times. He was obviously having a nightmare with the weather conditions, and he was obviously expecting that track to dry out a lot quicker as well. So from what I saw, it caught a lot of people out, including myself. And then, as always, got done in by some penalties towards the end that really hampered my progress. But yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was nice to get a proper wet race in. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes with the admin to see whether I've got second or third. But yeah. Yeah, that's it. Rub it in.
Oh, I don't have my man. There we go. That's why we have race controlling behind the scenes to take care of these matters, so we don't have to try and figure it out based off of what we see on a stream or whatever. But great racing, great season from you. I know you were really trying to close that gap up to Petrolhead here in the last couple of rounds, setting up for the finale here this week. But Petrolhead was on a tear this season. He had a great season and did everything right that he needed to do to secure that down. So happy with how your season went this season.
Yeah, I mean, early on, a few stupid mistakes, a few bad contacts, and that's what cost me at the end of the season. Petro had a good season all season through. If he was there, he was up the front. And the tracks where I feel I'm a little bit stronger on them, we would have a laugh during it, saying Petrol would go, "I'm just going to follow Doug all the way around and get him at the end when his tyres go." So I've had opportunities this season. I've not made the most of them. I don't think it would have changed the outcome. I needed to beat Petrol by 2-car gap. So first and fourth is what I needed, and for a little while it was sitting like that, and I was quite chuffed. And then it changed, and I wasn't. So it's one of those seasons, and hopefully I'll have a good run next season. I'm still near the top, so I'm okay with that. I'm still at the front, sharp end of the sword, as it were. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, we'll see how we go for what's coming up. We fully haven't decided what is coming up next. We've got a few ideas out there, and I think the plan is over the Christmas breaks, it's a longer break, to test some things out and put it up to vote to the community of which ones out of a few that we think will work will be the ones to go for. But yeah, I had a good season. Piggy had a great season. Petra had a great season. Bar had a good season. Bar's picked up his pace a lot this season. He's been properly quick the last few races. So yeah, it's been good. Everybody's picking up. Mark's showing his worth. He's quick. Mike's made a lot of races, which is good. All the guys. Carl's come along. He's not had a lot of practice at the moment, so Carl's back in, and we even had Pappy today. It's great fun. So yeah, brilliant season.
Hold on. Any final remarks on your season, and of course, any shout outs and thank yous that you'd like to throw out there?
I knew where you were going with the question. It's all right. No, thanks to yourself. Massive thanks to you. You've supported us all season. I know you've had some trying times, so it's great to have you here. And anything we can do to help, we will. You just got to ask us, let us know. Thanks to Team Rad and Petrol coming on board. He was running the colours today, so that was nice. Team Rad have done well this season, technically, I suppose now. Thanks to everybody watching and all the people involved in it. Thanks to all the admin boys for setting it up. And like I say, once again, massive shout to you for the support. I'm looking forward to next week's race. One that got postponed, but looking forward more to the next season and see what we can come up with. That's a bit of fun, but we'll create competition.
Another great season. Just fell a little short to the win this season, but hey, next season's a whole new season, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on a great run this year. And well, once we figure out what the official results are, I guess we'll have to make a post for the community, because I can't even speculate where it's going to fall as far as second and third place overall and fourth place even overall goes in the pro side. So we'll have to wait for those official results to come in here in the next 48 hours to really know what all happened there. But great racing from you, and well, maybe we'll be talking to you next weekend for our Mini Coopers.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one of the great administrators here at the Gran Turismo racing community, Doug Barrow, and of course a great racer. He was looking for that 5th championship star here this season, but he just fell a little bit short, so he'll be looking for that next season for sure. But let's go talk to our 3rd place finisher in the Pro-Am side of things here today. He had himself an interesting little race, and I'm sure it's going to be interesting to hear what he has to say. But he came in tied with Type R for that championship win in the Pro-Am division. position coming into round 9 today. It was 125 points each coming into the race. So it was whichever of those two finished ahead of each other was going to win this championship title. Astro was not in the race today, so was not able to try and capitalize on potentially sneaking in and stealing that away either. So it was between Trone and Type R. And Trone looked real solid early on in the race. He had a good gap, and then the rain came in, and he made that pit stop from the wet tires back onto those racing slicks, and things started to go a little bit sideways. I mean, let's start there. You have a great first half of your race, even with the weather kind of throwing a wrench in the race and everybody's pit strategies today. You managed that part of the race really well, and then much like a couple of the other drivers, you jumped on those racing slicks fairly early into the drying part of the track, and that track just didn't seem to dry quite as quickly as it seemed like the racers were hoping. So let's talk about that moment in your race. You come out on those racing slick tires. You've had a great run so far. You're doing everything right that you need to do to lock up this championship, and the track kind of threw a curveball at you on those racing slicks. So I guess how did you manage to get your rhythm back, really put your head down, and really start to put a charge back on Type R after a few moments of dicey weather on the racetrack?
You hear? Sorry, you have. To be honest, I didn't think I was gonna make it. I put on racing slicks, and I wasn't, you know, being careful. I wasn't taking the slip. That's what I thought I was gonna lose everything. And stay away from them. It's dangerous. For the second half, especially the last time. I was gonna try a touchdown. And I got used to it. At least I was happy. The type of that time, at least 35 seconds. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? By the time I got my rhythm, 35 seconds behind type used. So I just kept my head down. So I typed what I had to do. Just
Absolutely. And I mean, lots of pressure. At that moment there is after you kind of got locked into the drying track conditions, and you started to kind of find where that the safe part of the racetrack is to brake and make your turn-ins. Once you kind of got all that sorted out, something either happened to Type R up ahead of you, or he made a pit stop sequence, and you ended up coming right in behind him, and that's like when it all changed for you. It looked like the attitude of your car changed on track. You went and made a really bold move heading into turn number 5 there, risking again, dipping those tires into the water just to get ahead of that car that you needed to get ahead. And then of course a blue lead lap car came through, and Type R let him through there, and that allowed you to open up a quick gap there. And then of course a good clean drive the last 16-17 minutes of the race to bring it home, I believe for your first GTRC championship, if I'm not mistaken.
now this will be the second.
This be the second. Type R, you and Type R had a great battle all season long here in the Pro-Am side of things. I mean, did you have a lot of fun out there? He was a great competitor, and he just, unfortunately, today just didn't quite have an answer for you out there today.
Oh yeah, he was pretty good today. I thought he had me today because, like I said, I kept slipping away. I left 3 laps out there today, and I thought I was gonna win it somehow.
If you're having a little bit of a hard time hearing him, he's just slightly cutting in and out here on my end too. But I mean, great season from you. I mean, you've been continuously improving season by season. Doesn't really seem to matter what class of cars or what the league entails for what you guys are racing on over here at GTRC. You just seem to continue to settle into the car and the accommodation, and you have to just really race by race continue to improve on that consistency, your pace, and continue to push up towards that pro tier. So I mean, I guess the biggest question for this season is goal accomplished, and what's your goal for the next coming season?
Yeah, my goal is hopefully to be in the pros. I've been putting a little bit more practice on getting out faster. So hopefully I make it into the pros next season.
The seat time is key, ladies and gentlemen. You hear the drivers say it. You hear me say it a lot. You'll hear team owners say it a lot too. Seat time really is key to continue growing as a racer in sim racing, and really that is the honest to god truth. If you're not putting in the time, then it's really hard to figure out each car, each track combination, each kind of different wind, weather, dynamic weather in the series really threw an interesting strategy twist into the series. Like today, for example, the drivers had a strategy in mind under dry conditions, but very quickly the race went into wet conditions, which forced the drivers to change their strategies. And I mean, all in all, it seemed like all the drivers handled it pretty well. 13 started the grid here today. 13 finished the grid today and gave us some really great action on the racetrack. And I mean, I guess any final remarks on your season as a whole, Trone, and any thank yous and shout outs you'd like to throw to the viewers watching at home?
Good season. It was a good season. Uh, I finished on time promise good, and he held on to the first place until today. So congrats to him. Congratulations to them for the win. And and also, I'd like to shout out to you for the commentary and shout out to the racers of the season. Hopefully, I'll see you next season. Yeah.
Absolutely, and we always look forward to seeing Tron Kobe and the Humble Guys Racing Team coming back to show what they got here at the GTRC. But, ladies and gentlemen, Tron Kobe from the Humble Guys Racing Team is our official Pro-Am Division champion here this season of the GTRC Porsche Challenge Series. Congratulations, my man. Great season. And you know what? We're going to let you get back to that clubhouse and go celebrate, go raise that trophy over the head, and of course, break it down with your team. But we appreciate you and definitely can't wait to see what you have next season.
All right. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but most certainly not least, Team Rad, newly Team Rad, Petrolhead here. So just signed with Team Rad about 2 or 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. And this driver has had an incredible season all season long. He's had great pace. He's had great consistency. He's been one of the fastest drivers in the field all season long. He's won a few races, and he's done everything right this season to make sure that he had enough of a point cushion coming into this final round that he didn't have to stress so much about the positioning on the racetrack. He got into the podium. That's what he needed to do today, bare minimum, to hold that title. And the rain, all said and done, throwing a little bit of a wrench in the program. But again, today showing great pace, great consistency out there. He seemed to stay pretty cool, calm, and collected, and managed to get all the tires used up there in the stint there to make sure there was no after race issues for this driver. And all those things said and done, contributing to a very well-rounded racing season and an overall pro championship title. So congratulations on that. And is this your first championship here with the GTRC?
Yeah, it is my first championship. Oh, didn't think I'll win it at the end. During my middle stint, when I did make a few mistakes when I switched to the hard tires after the Inters run. To be fair, my Inters run was a risk. I did see that the rain would get to wet tires, but I also knew it wouldn't get to the point whereby the Inters would fully stop working. And I knew that I knew that during qualifying when it did rain, because there was no cars on track, the water wouldn't dry up as quickly. However, under race conditions, it would dry up quicker than other drivers really expected, and I think that's what allowed me to then back time from the end of the race, if that makes sense. The fact that I had the cushion of only needing to finish third also helped. I didn't have to stress too much, but I'm very happy that I've got my first star. It's been a long time coming, to be fair.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure if I didn't pull out of a radical season, I probably would have gotten that star as well there.
Absolutely. I mean, you've been racing here for a long time, and you know we've all watched the likes of Doug and Hair Razor and Pigham's earn their championship titles here at GTRC. Tron Colby today earning his second one now. So for you, your first one, and so is that a little extra special for you, knowing that this is your first title here, in a community that you've been a part of for a very long time, and I guess this is your first championship title in any kind of league setting as well.
Yeah, it's my first championship, and it's special. The first one's always your special one. I don't know how else to describe it other than it's special. It's like a weight's been lifted. You're just the stresses are gone. You've done it. Now it's just collecting more. I've got to thank Team Rad for allowing me to join them. Granted, it was just before the final 2 races of the season, but I'm glad to now be a part of them. And honestly, when the Porsches were announced, I wasn't sure I was gonna be that quick. I don't know what happened during the off season, but something clicked between me and the car, and I think that's what led me to be so quick this season.
Well, and I mean, sitting in the GTRC halls of history, it was some pretty elite company when it comes to these the big championships here. With your first championship as well. So, I mean, if this is just a taste of what we're going to see coming from this driver in the future, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, and he's not wrong. Your first one really is special. After that, it doesn't become a desire or a want anymore. It becomes a need as a racer. So as these racers pot these trophies and find success, that lights a fire to continue to want to push harder, become faster, and win more. So I guess, does anything change for you coming from this season moving into the future season? Obviously that hasn't been announced yet. We don't know what we're up against for our next upcoming seasons here yet, but do you change anything in your practice regiment or in your motivation levels, or do you just kind of keep it where you're at right now, because you definitely look really good and calm and cool on the racetrack right now?
I think during the off season I think it's time to elevate from a pad to a wheel. I think that's the next step. I think that's the next bit. That way I can have more versatility. It's the with the pad at the moment. It's not as, yeah, you can save the car quicker, but tire wear, which has always been my weakest point, it makes the pad is worse in general. And I think the off season is the time to step it up, switch from the pad to the wheel, get good at that, and elevate my pace a little bit further.
Absolutely, and I mean, there is a transitioning period there for players that are moving from that controller to a steering wheel setup, whether it be just your low entry levels G29s or your T150s, right up to your top end Logitech G Pros and your DD Fanatec Pro wheels. I mean, it doesn't really matter what wheel you use. They all I mean, they're all great, but there's always a little bit of a transition period with that. So you, in a sense, kind of become a little bit slower to become faster when you transition from controller to wheel. But boy, when that wheel clicks, look out. And if that's what we're going to see from Petrohead, he's going to try and make that transition in the off season. We've seen it from Bar 27, and by the end of the season, his pace had improved quite incredibly. So if what we're going to see is a pace improvement, some consistency improvement, and better tire management and things like that with that transition from Petrohead, he's definitely going to be a championship contender moving into future seasons here. Not only with GTRC, but of course other communities that he of course competes in as well. But this one being the first one, especially with, like I said, you've been a part of the community here for as long as I've been a part of the community here now, anyways, and it's been a while. Does that make it a little bit extra special? You're in with close people, friends that people that you race with and against all the time. Does that make it a little bit extra special, or just not sure yet, because probably still soaking in the moment a little bit?
It does make it extra special when it's a community that's this loving and this welcoming. It's good. Especially when I've had the community knows I've had down periods quite a lot of the time, so sometimes wouldn't be able to finish seasons, And to be able to finally get that first star with a bunch of guys and girls who you talk to on a daily basis, you laugh, you make jokes, it's brilliant. It is brilliant.
Absolutely, my man. I mean, you're the star of the day. I mean, this is our pro division champion, ladies and gentlemen. The big sweeping it all up, taking the big prize here this week at the Porsche Challenge series here at Red Bull Ring. Absolutely great race. If you guys are just tuning in, you got to go back and watch the race when it gets posted on the stream. It was a beauty. But the floor is yours. Any final remarks, anything you'd like to throw out there to the viewers watching at home, and of course, shout outs and thank yous when you're all finished that.
Thank you to you for being a commentator for the season. Yeah, it's been nice hearing your dulcet tones when I've watched the races back. Thank you to the admin team for setting this up, for giving us a very competitive season, a very, very competitive season. Shout out to Doug and Piggins for making me work for this. They made me work for this, and it was a very fun season to be battling them too. Thanks to Team Rad for letting me join, and hopefully I can give them some more championships wherever I go. To my personal sponsors at Motorsport 101, their podcasts. They are a good group of lads and lasses over there in that community. If you want a different type of podcast, go check them out. They're good peeps. And I think 2 closing remarks. Point number 1 is costs nothing to be nice. Point number 2, campione.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna
Very well deserved. I mean, it's been a real treat to watch you perform so well this season. Like I said, watching you race for so long now with this group, and really, I mean, you just you couldn't make a wrong step this season. It seemed like if something went wrong, you found a way to sort that issue out at the end of the race and make it right, and still end up in the top half of pretty much the race every week for 9 straight weeks. So you don't have to win every race, ladies and gentlemen, to win a championship. Petrolhead most certainly did not win every race this season. He definitely won some, but he didn't win them all. You don't need to win races to win championships. You just need to be consistent. You need to show up every week and make the grid, and you just need to go out there and give it your best and have some fun. And those are really the important keys. And if you can put all those things together, you got a good shot at winning a championship. You don't have to be first every week to win it. So, and Petrolhead is really a good example of that this season. If you want to see a true championship run, go back to the GTRC community's YouTube, watch back all the races this season. Some of them are just based off highlight reels, but they're all there for everybody to see. And just watch Petrolhead's races. And he stayed cool, he stayed calm, he had good strategies all season long, and he had a good consistent pace. And at the end of the season, that is why he is sitting here holding the big trophies. So, from me to you, it's been a pleasure to watch you bring this thing home and handle the pressure like a professional and like a champion. And we're gonna let you get back to that Team Rad clubhouse in the GTRC community there and celebrate with your family. We appreciate you, my guy.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you next season.
Absolutely, look forward to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, what a crazy race today. I mean, 13 drivers step on the grid. We got some drivers returning at the end of the season for a finale that haven't been here for the mid part of the season, which we love seeing. I want to give a special shout out to Happy Pappy for the first place overall Pro-Am win today. And I'd like to give us props to Mark as well for finishing second overall in the Pro-Am division today. Of course, Trone bringing that thing home third place in the race today, bringing home his championship title. So an extra special congratulations to Trone, Kobe, Type R, and Astro for their top 3 in that Pro-Am division. That is most certainly where that is going to score out officially. Pro? We're not sure. Congratulations to Pigums, Doug, and Petrolhead for his championship. We are unsure who's going to finish in second and third place between Doug and Pigums, and potentially Bar 27 leapfrogging Hair Racer for fourth place overall in the season as well. There was a decent little point spread there, but the rain really factored into this race. Some of the drivers jumped off of those intermediate racing tires quite quickly when the track started to dry, and unfortunately for a couple of those drivers, that decision paid to be the demise for their racing day today. But that's the beauty of racing. You just never know what's going to happen until it happens, and it's not over until every car crosses that checkered flag. So 13 cars started today, 13 cars finished. That's the most important thing. The drivers had fun out there. They put on a great show for the viewers at home, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I do apologize for the lack of content from GT45 Gaming side. We are going to be getting back to a regular schedule here. We had a few things happen over the last couple of weeks that needed our immediate attention, and unfortunately, due to some of the things that have happened, it is going to change the way that we do things around here a little bit, but the content will still be coming. So the Facebook page is kind of home right now, as it always kind of has been. The YouTube channel is a dead duck, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, we do appreciate support over there. You don't have to go and unsubscribe. We're still going to put content there, but based off of YouTube and the situation with YouTube there, apparently I violated something over there and they've shut my channel down basically. So we're working on getting that solved, but in the meantime, we just keep doing what we do. We love you guys. We appreciate the support here at GT45 Gaming and the GTRC community. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like and share on the way out if you haven't done so already. If you have done so already, of course, you're legends. We love you for it. And that was a good race tonight. That was a great way to send off the Porsche Challenge Series this season. And congratulations to Pigham's Doug and Petrolhead for the championship on the pro side. And congratulations to Tron Gobi from the Humble Guys Racing team as well on the Pro-Am side for his championship here. Second one from the GTRC now for this driver. And just keep seeing improvement from each one of these drivers week in and week out. So with that being said, we love you. We appreciate you all. Remember, you all matter. Stay winning. And we'll catch you on the next one, which is in about 2 hours' time, ladies and gentlemen. Ta-ta for now.